Ettemõtte. Roonemaa ja Kotka idupodcast. Henrik Roonemaa ja Taavi Kotka räägivad igal kolmapäeval sellest, kuidas Eesti 1000 korda suuremaks teha. Ettemõtte.
Good morning, everyone. So this is the second day of the conference, and I'm happy to see people are actually here, even after yesterday's after party. I went to sleep really early, but when I met Taavi 10 minutes ago, he looked like he didn't have any sleep. So good morning. Yes, good. How many hours did you sleep this night?
5.
5. Good for you.
5.
All right. I can ask the same from our guest, the Prime Minister of Estonia, Kaja Kallas. How many hours of sleep last night?
Actually, I also think 5, but not because I had party. So I left the dinner and I was like preparing for today. So very intense day ahead.
Okay, so our guest is well prepared, and actually so are we, because the idea, the format of the thing we are doing here is we sent out messages, phone calls to startup people all over the world. You know, Estonian startup community, the global community, LinkedIn, Facebook, and we asked if you had a chance to ask the Prime Minister of the best startup country in the world one question, what would it be? And we got a load of questions, and we have some questions ourselves. We end 10:40, hard stop, as the Prime Minister will be on the stage, but let's go. I didn't get any questions from you, Taavi, so I think everything is clear.
No. Just as our children are going to the same class at school, so I was like feeling more relaxed. So, yeah.
I'm afraid of Taavi's questions, actually,
yeah,
because he was also, he has been very engaged in building the startup community here, but let's see what comes out of it.
Yes.
This podcast.
So, yeah, well, according to statistics, 9 out of 10 startup podcasts fail badly and everyone loses their money. So we are not one of them. But let's begin. A question that we got a number of times was that, as I said, Estonia is widely considered to be the best startup country in the world. If it is true, of course. But the question to the Prime Minister is, why do you think that is? Like, is Estonia somehow different? Is there something in the water here that makes us great startuppers?
Yeah. No, I think it is part of the also the bigger picture. When you are a small country and we don't have a lot of people, so we don't have a lot of resources, that means the only thing you can build your economic prosperity on is smart people, it is technology, it is brains. So therefore we have made decisions in the past to do that. And I think the startup sector is a very vibrant sector because specifically, few decisions in the past. One is in 2000, Estonia introduced digital ID. And at that time, I remember that, if we would have asked the people, do you need digital identity? Then the people would have gone like, why? What is that? But, the government didn't ask really. And it was a cooperation with the private sector together with the governmental sector and how to make people take up the digital identity. Of course, what the people are most interested in, money. So you get your funds back when you file your taxes online with the digital identity. You get your tax refunds back earlier. And that made people take up the digital identity where we could also build different services on. So I think this is a very important decision. The other decision, it is also building a very, very strong education system because, from the early on and always when I tell this, children, who are their heroes? Who are they looking up to? Because they want to be like them. So we have in Estonia a cartoon where the hero is a dog that is a girl that is an inventor, and if you listen to the music in the musicals, it's all about chemistry is fun, mathematics is super interesting, physics, you go into physics, and when I saw you have all these charts, and when I saw that Estonia is in top 5 in the world for women inventors, then I was like, okay, this is definitely working.
Okay, but how your life has changed during last 2 years? Because you have been very vocal about the Ukrainian war, and I think big appreciation of the job you have doing there. Before that was more about IT and startups. Now it's more about defense and military.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I have been actually in private practice longer than I've been in politics. And when I was in private practice, I was a lawyer, attorney at law. Then my main specifics were competition law and energy law. So I was really, really narrow in that respect. Then I went into politics, and the topics that I dealt with were more, economical, all these issues. But then I was elected to the European Parliament. And there you understand that everybody knows, like, oh, you're from Estonia. See, my computer doesn't work. So everybody sees you as the tech country, and I'm of the opinion that you have your strengths and you have your weaknesses. So you can build on your strengths to become number one in the world, whereas your weaknesses remain your weaknesses. And where I really noticed that everybody knows Estonia being digital, that meant that I started to deal with those topics there. And really, when these services are taken from you, you can't use them. I mean, I bring you one example. In the Belgian, I get an envelope which is as thick as that, a big one, and a small booklet with it. I was like, what is that? That is the tax declaration. Oh my God, do really people fulfill that? And then you have only, working hours that you have to go and stay in a queue and to file this. And the little booklet was how to fulfill this tax declaration. It's like, okay, this is hard. So we have it better.
Did you fix any of your colleagues' computers? Did you manage?
Yeah, well, I said that it's not running in my veins really because I'm Estonian, but the idea was, these things.
I have a similar experience. I was in New Zealand once, Queenstown, it's South Island. It's like Otepää, so in the middle of nowhere. There was a skydiving company who does this double or jumps that you are hooked to somebody and then you jump out of the plane. And it's a one-time event in your life, because if you do it, if you like it, you start jumping yourself. If you don't like it, you don't do it anymore. So it's like basically this company was eager to capture maximum money out of the customer, because he or she never returns. Just grab as much as possible. And they figured out okay, we should create a video about the jump. But how to create a video and basically deliver it so rapidly that when the person comes down, you instantly get the video and bye-bye. And they figured out okay, it's a digital thing. We need Estonian for this. So they went to the local bar in the middle of nowhere.
Any Estonians?
Yeah, exactly. And there was one backpacker, a lady from Tallinnas University, who knew nothing about IT, but there was a question, is there any Estonian in this bar? And she raised her hand.
But she couldn't help them.
Is there any doctor? No. Is there any Estonian?
Yeah.
And she still lives there and delivered the service.
So very good. We are already operating at a global level, and there are a couple of questions about that global level, namely about the global talent war. So how do we want to win this talent war? How do we want people to move in? And more specifically, someone says that salaries are raising, taxes are rising, prices, inflation. Estonia has become quite expensive. So immigration policies, there are better countries in the world. What do we do?
Yeah, sitting here in the morning with this weather, you kind of think that this is the way it is here.
No, to all our foreign guests, this is the norm.
I mean,
the November is the same.
Well, don't lie to people. No, you have to be honest. In November, we stay inside mostly. But I always say to our foreign guests, it's like living in a refrigerator. You stay young and fresh for a long time. So it has its pluses. And, I did, and also, by the way, I also learned that Estonia's cows are the most productive cows in the world because they like the climate. It's nice and fresh. And when I did the Daily Show, then I was explaining this because the weather was really, really bad. And then the comedian said, I can see you have given this a lot of thought. Yeah, because you have to explain this somehow. But so the climate is not the thing. We have definitely better places. I think it's for tech sector, it's the ecosystem. Doing business, the business environment is good. Also for government, we try to be. We are very accessible. We are listening to the worries that companies have. Sometimes I think that we are so accessible that if company has a problem, the first person he contacts is the prime minister. And sometimes I think there should be some layers in between also. But at the same time, this is a good thing because then when people have issues, then we try to really address them if they are issues that make the business environment better. This is something, and of course the education system, so that our own people would be smarter and take this maybe tech way.
But do you think we need more foreign talent in Estonia? What's the optimal level?
Yeah, I'm of the opinion that new ideas come from diversity. So always when there is a mix of different people, that means you have also mix of different ideas that you can build on and you haven't thought about. So that's why we have made all these regulations that startup sector, tech sector can recruit people easier way than lower salary employees, for example, to really attract the talent.
So you think that we should bring in more people?
I don't think the quantity matters. It's more like quality. Again, if I say that building on your strengths, we will never be a big industry country because we just don't have enough people. Skeleton's investment to France is a good example. Their innovation center is in Estonia. The high salary jobs are in Estonia. The factory is in France and Germany. So because they have much more people there. So I think, attracting the talent and the people that come with new ideas and really, enlarge this sector, it is what we are after.
And to be honest, we are in a startup conference. So the first statistics, 39% of all the startups have founder or co-founder as an e-resident. So we don't have to bring them in, that is true. Okay, I should have thought that you want to get to that. No,
but it is true. The idea behind e-residence is that we don't have a lot of people, but people started to ask that we also want to enjoy your digital services. So this is the way to do it, actually.
Let's talk about politics and helping companies. There was a scandal just a couple of weeks ago. Bolt wanted to get some help from Estonian government in Brussels about the way how say the customers and the providers actually treated in European Union. And there was a scandal that no, we shouldn't stay or we shouldn't represent our companies in such a strong way. On the same time, when we worked in Brussels, Germans were always about their car industry, and UK was always about the banks. And we were basically more we didn't have anything to represent basically because all the companies were so small. Now we have a global player, and we should be the first runners in that field.
But we, as I said, the government is very accessible. So we always, when we have the negotiations on the European level, we also listen to our companies and provide conditions considering also what they are bringing on board. We are trying to listen. It doesn't mean that we always agree with everything, because we see also the picture not only from the company side but also wider picture. And we also are around the European table. We like to be constructive partners. That means that we say that we don't agree to this, but we can agree to this. So we are able to compromise, and that is actually important because then you are taken seriously when you have issues. People listen to you.
I have had some experience with the Estonian health system and the health system of a larger country, and when talking to friends, and I sincerely get the sense that in Estonia, every single life matters much more. And it's a harsh thing to say, but it's true, than in a very small country. So in Estonia, we get the first page newspaper article when some person from some village is sick and could be cured. Whereas in a big country, it's like, it's one of 200 million. It's not a topic. And at the same time, we sort of get nervous. And there is a scandal when when an Estonian sometimes decides to move abroad, or where Estonian companies invest abroad. We had 2 cases last week. Like, oh my God, they are investing into France. What's going on? I think it's time to maybe grow a little.
No, but this is actually a good sign of our development, and I sometimes like to really think about how far we have come from the time when we regained our independence 32 years ago, and this is a great thing that our companies are actually buying up companies elsewhere.
I mean, exactly. We are not the small country.
We should be proud.
We don't have to keep track of every single founder and the company. Where are you going? Come back.
Yeah, but I guess it's not an Estonian issue that the media really wants to focus on the negative. So from every aspect, you can draw something negative because people react to negative. But I would want to see that this negativity doesn't drown us. So that I had one conversation with one entrepreneur who is acting in different countries, and they said that I see that in other countries people are actually making themselves bigger, like showing things better than they are, whereas in Estonia we try to say no, it's not really like this.
It's not much.
No, and I bring you one example. When I was member of European Parliament, and then it's a very, very small example, but still, there was, exhibition of different libraries, and libraries had their own show there, and our Estonian libraries showed the digital mandalas, so it was hugely popular. Like there was a lot of crowd there because all the others had just books and nothing really interactive. And I went there and said, "Oh, it's so great what you're doing here." No, but Latvians have it much better. So it's like own it.
Yeah.
Yeah, salute to all the Latvians. But still, I mean, I think we have to look into the mirror. We have analyzed what is important to build a proper digital society. And one thing I totally agree is that even if you have the best one in the world, and we don't have, the best one is actually in China. I mean, we don't have to salute to this model what they have, but digitally they are more advanced. But we're doing great, and we analyzed all these factors, like what people see as valuable things. And one conclusion was that you have to constantly amuse the nation. So basically, you have to bring in new innovation, and I think we have to take in some criticism from the public sector part. Public sector always has been very innovative in Estonia. But lately, I mean, there hasn't been any major news. I mean, the AI comes, etc. But bureaucrat and what we have here. But I mean,
I'm reading a question. Question number 8. Why are governments always so slow to make decisions and react to changing realities?
I can tell you a joke. I mean, as I said...
It's not a joke. Like
No. Introduction, okay? With a little... I mean, when I was... as I said, I've been in private practice longer than I've been in politics. So I was in private practice. I was like, okay, we get these things done. Then I went into politics. And it's like, okay, these things take super long. But then I went into European politics. And it's like, Estonia, we do it fast. So it all depends on the comparison. Of course, we would like to be faster. We don't have, we have the human rights and data protection and all these things that the Chinese don't have. Yeah. So we have, and I think it's a positive thing. Also that we think along the lines, but democracies take time, and we need to have those discussions. I sometimes think that we are also maturing democracy now, which means that also, processes take longer because people really are not that prone to new ideas always, and the media always picks like, oh, this is super negative, and then either you are over it and you still do it, or you say that okay, you're right, and we back off.
But are we still like open for radical ideas? Like, for example, I don't know how it's in English, euthanasia. Euthanasia, yeah. Like, for example, let's bring that on the table and have, truly figure it out for Europe, be country of
But this is a topic that is very divisive. I mean, half of the population supports and half don't, and I think we have to initiate the discussions, but I don't think that we reach a decision there. So this is not exactly the innovation.
Yeah, but it was just an example.
No, but we are still open to discussing ideas. But it's also true that, as I said, that this negativity. Moises Naim has written already years ago a very good book, The End of Power. That means that you have nowadays small groups that have more power than they had ever before to veto things. They're always against something. They're never for something. The media loves them, so they get a lot of coverage, but they don't actually represent that big people. But because the media loves them, then it sounds like everybody thinks like this. And then, of course, politicians are still, tied to the public opinion. And if the public opinion, shows that it's to the other direction, then most of the politicians don't have the courage to push forward, even if you think, it's the right thing to do.
Here you just heard the Estonian Prime Minister describing Twitter. It's a small amount of noisy people.
But you're still there.
No, I left. On principle. Because of anyway, I'm not a guest here.
I'm still there.
So how do you know how it operates then?
I was I've been in, now I'm out. I'm clean. Where does the Prime Minister see Europe's so-called great emergence? I don't remember who asked that, but Sten Damgivi has also the co-founder of Plural Fund has talked about how actually Europe is in a pretty good spot and things are moving, we are developing, especially deep tech. Europe is doing great. But we have a long question, I won't read all of it, but basically it says that everyone else is out-investing Europe tech-wise, AI-wise, we are slow, and then we are, as Peter Koppel calls it, an open-air museum.
Yeah, this reminds me of a joke I heard. And I actually don't remember a lot of jokes, although
actually you have told a lot of jokes this morning.
Yeah, but I'm also surprising myself in this regard right now. But the joke was that what is the verb for each region? Like for Silicon Valley, it's innovate. For Europe, it's regulate. And for Washington, it's litigate. So regulate is not that bad.
What would the word for Russia be, for Moscow?
Take it all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grab it.
Yeah. So
I think we have problems in Europe, and these are related to out subsidizing each other, not dealing with the competition issues, really. I mean, what we saw when we have had different crises, then, different countries put a lot of subsidies, to different industries, which is state aid. And that means that those countries that have deeper taxpayers' pockets will do it more, which is we don't deal with the competition issues that are really there. And in the end, also the big countries will run out of taxpayers' money, and the competition issues are still there. So we have to focus on those to have this move forward. What is the positive thing is, there are polls all around the world, and people from all around the world, the place where they want to live is Europe. So we have a lot of soft power actually in this regard, because we have the rules in place for protection of our people.
But like you said, like the competition is really high, like in a global level. Also, Estonia has developed super rapidly, and like I think all Estonians agree that it has been a great journey last 30 years. And it leaves a mark. So there was another poll currently going on, It's Better Estonia, where 4 companies, Bolt, Tele2, Kaubamäe Group and LHV, asked from the citizens of Estonia, if you would have 100,000 euros, where you think that money should be invested, or what you would like to help. And it was astonishing that 37% of the audience, like the citizens of Estonia, chose mental health. What we learn from this?
Yes, I mean, I started as a prime minister during COVID, and one of the first things I did was also create mental health crisis group, because this was an issue, and it is still an issue. So we put a lot of money to mental health, but we still have a lot of problems. Of course, it's a discussion whether, people know it more now and they are more able to react to those issues, or is it really growing bigger? And of course, all these tools and tech equipment are not really helping in this regard. So we have to, help people on the other side. I mean, the easiest way is to, stay away from Twitter and all these places.
Yes, exactly.
By the way, do you limit your son's time in internet?
I do. Do you? We have to agree on this. Our sons are together in the schools.
No, with that one I don't limit, because he's very much about sports.
Yeah,
and
mine too. Yeah, that is true.
But they're the ones that with them I have a problem.
Okay, I will stop your little family meeting with another question about the European Union. So let's
just so much more exciting.
Yeah, let's just jump back and forth. And no, but I just wanted to follow up. It seems that pretty much every morning I open my computer and read the news, I discover that the EU has decided to find another one of global tech companies, if it's like 5 billion or 500 billion or 500 million. So it seems that it's sort of a business area, a new business area of the European Union, the European Commission, is to find Apple, find Google, find Meta. And it just goes on and on and on, and regulate. And I think to me, it seems a lot. I don't know, what do you think about it? Is that, have we gone too far?
I mean, of course, there's a discussion about whether the rules are too much. And when I was a member of European Parliament, I always thought that if you make the rules keeping in mind the incumbent, you always actually design the rules for the incumbent and not for everybody else. Yes. So you limit and you actually make it for the one who is already on the market. But at the same time, I have to also keep in mind, for example, the misinformation and all this. I mean, Russia is also having this shadow war against all of our societies to create chaos, to undermine democracies and all this. And we see, the tech platforms are these things where these things, really reach people. So this is also an issue on the other side. So how to strike that balance is, of course, a very, very delicate thing to do. So, I feel that maybe Europe has done a little bit over the top in some aspects, but in some aspects we actually want to see more. I mean, Telegram is, for example, a platform where we see most Russian narratives and really getting to people, and they are not under these regulations, really.
Yeah, but at the same time, some American tech commentators, analysts are seriously discussing that maybe Apple should just pull from the European market, because
please.
like we are forcing them to open up and change their business model.
In the States, but please go. Yeah. 500 million people, I don't care.
This is yes. If you look at the numbers, then 62% of United States investments go to Europe, and American companies earn 2.7 times more profit from Europe than they earn from Asia, the whole of Asia, not China, but the whole of Asia.
We can tighten the screws some more.
So actually, it's profitable. That's why they're.
I can't understand you. Like, come on, how much taxes Facebook pays in Estonia?
I have no idea.
Sorry. Yeah, it's tips or none. Which means that. On the same time, they offer service here. You all spend a significant amount of time there. You are advertised there. So it's usually that in an environment where you operate, you also pay taxes there. You also give back to that society. That's usual. ESG starts to demand that. For example, you have to give back to the society. What Facebook gives back to Estonia? And you are talking about some kind of penalties. I mean, we should tax them heavily.
But I mean, I agree. But that would be that would be more fair. Because
exactly.
at least that way they would know that it's a tax and they can plan it. If it's a fine from the European Commission, it's like rain.
But
it might come.
I can tell you when this the big countries agreed on this global corporate tax. And wanted to impose this on everybody, then we were really against this because we don't have a corporate tax. I mean, if you reinvest to your company, yes, if you take it out as dividends, you pay income tax, but otherwise no. So if you build your company, invest in your people, you don't pay income tax. But the other pillar, we only agreed to this if the global digital giants are taxed, in all over the world in a similar way, so that we can also get profit from this. Now
our share,
yes, our share. And now, the Americans dropped the global digital tax, but move on with the corporate tax. And I think it's not fair because it was two sides, but they have their interests.
Okay, so let's go back to the mental health question. There have been some interviews recently also in Estonian newspapers how the capital is fleeing Estonia. People not investing, foreign owners selling their real estate apartments. And I think it was last week when one of the owners of Tallink, one of the largest companies in Estonia, gave an interview in Estonia and said, no one in the sane mind is actually investing into Estonia right now. At the same time, the numbers don't show it.
Yeah, the numbers don't show it, and this is very emotional. So this is the negativity that I talk about. If I look at the numbers, then I mean, when we had the start of the war, then you had some kind of hiccup there. But now in 2023, the volume of foreign investments was higher than it was in 21, 3.7 billion versus 4.2 billion. So actually, the number of tourists visiting in Estonia declined due to COVID. But the tourists are back again. So also, what is important to say here is that the security of Estonia is the same as in any other NATO country. So we are in NATO. We don't have any first or second class NATO countries, and that's why we don't have war here. And the numbers actually don't show. We have the salaries are raising, the interest rates are now coming down. We see more investments. We actually see the unemployment going down again. I mean, last year, private sector created 12,000 new jobs in Estonia. So I mean,
to all the foreigner guests here, it's a huge number.
Yeah. We have 700,000 people on the employment market. So 12,000 per year. It is a lot. I mean, usual. It has been 9,000 was year before that, and then it was around 4,000 always in a year. So.
Okay, but do you see this opinion going around also in the West? It's like you go talk to someone, I'm Kaja. Oh yeah, you're from the Russia thing.
No, it's funny thing. I was in Austria and I thought that this is coming. So I asked my team to take the exact kilometers from the war. And they're like, okay, you are in the front line of this war. I was like, no, you are much closer to the war than we are. It's like, no, but we are neutral. Oh, good luck with that. We were also neutral in 1940. How did that end up? So they were like really frightened.
Austria is actually basically Russia. So
true. But then it was...
Let's talk about that afterwards.
Then it was Norway, and the journalist asked me that, aren't you afraid? I said, why? You have a border with Russia. I said, you have a border with Russia. We have, we are in NATO, you are in NATO. If you are not afraid, we are not afraid. So this is actually, I mean, maybe in the start it was an issue, but now everybody sees that this is not the case, really.
Like our interview comes to an end, do you have a message to the startups, to the people who are here today, in the second morning? Not all of us, very fresh, but still anxious and excited to build something new?
Yes. First of all, I'm very happy that you're here. Second, I hope that you find a lot of good Estonian companies to either invest in or cooperate with, because I think we have a lot of potential here. So try to organize the weather as it is today, and everything is fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's the Enterprise Estonia budget for this year.
Also, I heard last night from friends that this year currently is a mega mosquito year in Estonia. So,
but how does it really work? Because I thought that when we had snow in April, really end of April,
they
then they will all die.
Yeah.
They don't.
Well, they clearly haven't. So whatever you do, don't go out of Tallinn.
Yeah, most probably they were imported from Latvia or Finland.
Maybe it's a Russian operation. Anyway, yeah. It's now we are not talking sense anymore. Thank you. Thank you, Kaja.
Big applause to the Prime Minister, please.
All right, thanks to the audience and to all our foreign guests. This is now the last chance you have to start learning Estonian, because from now on we will continue with our regular podcasts in Estonian every week on Delfi, and all the others can just go and subscribe. But thanks, and we'll meet you next week somewhere.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ettemõtte. Roonemaa ja Kotka idupodcast. Henrik Roonemaa ja Taavi Kotka räägivad igal kolmapäeval sellest, kuidas Eesti 1000 korda suuremaks teha. Ettemõtte.